if you're just tuning in, you just missed We Are Star Children, but you're in time to witness Gene Osborne on lead vocals and guitar, and Allie Buchanan trumpeting. And we're going to talk to them now and interview them. They are 2 of 7. So, in fact, the band is a lot bigger than what we have represented here today, but you guys are representing really well. You were fantastic. Thank you so much for coming.
You're welcome. Thanks for
I know you're welcome. You described yourself as adventure pop. I love that. I love that so much. You're so energetic and you're so unique and fun. Tell us all about you.
Sure. As you said, we're a 7-piece band, so there's a lot of energy on the stage. Our live show really we really try to create a cacophony of musicians, energy, and stories. When we say adventure pop, sonically there's a big arc to most of our songs, and narratively there's some adventure in there. Some songs.
No, not at all.
A little bit, and when we get the drums going, the bass going, the horn, the synth element in the band, it really does help create a lot of energy, and that's where the word adventure kind of came in.
Love it.
Fantastic. Yeah. So we saw a flute, we saw a keyboard, we saw a guitar and a trumpet. What else is there?
Bass and drums.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And the big backing vocal component, Allie sings, our keyboard player sings, have another vocalist who's not with us tonight. So there's a large choral aspect at times. We try to get as much voices going. And that really seems to energize the show. I think people really respond to singing,
Yes,
as
sound.
much as,
and your sound is so cool. Like, how did you discover your style? And then how did you find backup vocalists that just complimented you so well, your style?
Yeah, well, we try to split the difference between being really intentional with the songwriting and the arrangements, but we also try not to think. And I think by not thinking, we end up actually getting a lot of the energy, a lot of just us really going for it. Our drummer is like a mystical drummer, and he just goes to another place. Girls love him.
Oh my gosh, really? The drummer, the unsung hero in the back.
Yeah, he's actually been a punk rock drummer since 1985. So he's has a huge just depth of knowledge, and we play, we rehearse, we arrange, and then when it's time for the show, we huddle up before the show, and then we just go for it. So I think the sound is it's very organic in a way, but it also comes out of some hard work where we actually do work on the arrangements and where we want certain elements to come in. So
that's
a bit of both.
So which came first, the idea of the music, or someone who is on the trumpet and someone who's on the flute? I mean, which came first?
Yeah,
your songwriting, pretty much. Gene will write a song or a little guitar lick or something and say, or email it to me or something and say, check this out, and then I'll hear something, and the bass player will hear something, the keyboardist will hear something. We just all come from different musical backgrounds, and we're able to bring those differences to a song, and then sometimes it can be kind of crazy, and that's when we get tasteful, and clean it out a little bit, but still be able to bring who we are as musicians and mix it together into this one big group. But it usually starts with an idea from Gene, and a good rhythm section definitely helps. And,
yeah, definitely.
For me as a horn player, having played lots of jazz and lots of classical and funk and world beat and just lots of different styles, I can pull from those experiences and bring it to the songs that we do here.
And that's very apparent.
Has it always been trumpet for you?
It's always been trumpet since I was 8 years old. Yeah.
What about
your parents going, the trumpet? Come on now.
No, my mother's a French horn player, and actually she auditioned for a symphony in the 60s and received a letter that she was not allowed to even audition because she was a woman.
No.
Really?
Yeah.
So growing up, music was very important, and it was kind of like sort of an unsung dream for her a little bit, something that wasn't really realized. So she partly she pushed us into music because she wanted us to be well-rounded. Like, she also pushed athletics and academics for sure, but the whole music horn player strong aspect definitely comes from her. As a French horn player, and then I just happened to really dig the trumpet. I mean, I played French horn for like a minute, but it just wasn't cool.
The symphony doesn't know what they were missing by not having women playing the horns. I mean, that's so sexy. It's so cool. Like, you are so cool.
Oh, thank you.
I couldn't agree more. Your lyrics. Where are they
Sure.
coming from?
So some of what I write, I really try to just create simple narratives. A lot of what I do is more like a dreamscape, sort of stream of conscious. There's a way of writing. I know this is how Bono actually writes. I read it and it kind of perked my ears up because I realized that's how I write. I'll write the whole thing out with no theme in mind, and then if you look back at them, a theme sort of pops out, and then you go through and you can sort of trim some of the words to sort of fit a theme. Other songs, like we played the Scissor song, that song is just a dreamscape. It's almost like beat poetry or something. It doesn't actually have a linear narrative. We have other songs. We have one called Flowers by My Feet and My Side. It's told from this life about a past life. In my past life, I was a terrible woman, one filled with lust and desire, but behind these eyes, I'm a terrible woman, turn around and set the bank on fire. So it's all about her evil ways and how a person would see that from this life. So that's more of a narrative example
It's very
of how
exciting.
we write. Yeah.
I mean, I think it's brilliant that you sort of relinquish control and just allow your stream of consciousness to come out,
Sure.
and then out of that comes this wonderful, interesting stuff, lyrics.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes you very unique.
Yeah.
It's like that musically too. I think if you follow too many rules, or you're trying to be a pop band or a jazz band, like when you're trying to fit into a mold like that, you're really stunting your own creativity.
Yeah.
And what I really like about playing in this band is that I can just really not have to worry about that and just play what's coming out, and it gets trimmed over time what those horn lines are going to end up being, just like writing lyrics or just like writing a beat or a bass line.
Yeah.
It's cool that we have the opportunity to just let things flow and then trim as we feel like it or not.
Yeah.
You guys
sometimes.
must love to rehearse.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so fun.
I would love
It's
to
so
watch.
fun.
Well, you are certainly
can come
welcome
over.
anytime.
You might just have to.
might have to bring a
I
camera.
actually think it's sort of the best part. Rehearsals are the best part because it's where we get to really workshop these songs. Gigs actually help us sort of solidify and focus during the rehearsals. But sometimes I feel like the gigs serve the rehearsals rather than the other way around.
Right.
Yeah.
They are
Keep
so
you on
much
track.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
fantastic.
Give us something to work for.
Yeah, rather than just play.
Yeah, definitely.
Which I can see you guys doing a lot. So, who started it all? How did you all meet? Was there one with the
So,
dream and the vision, or?
Yeah, this so all the artists that we have today on the show were not in the band. This band grew out of a band, and the name of that band was Straight Punch to the Crotch, which actually had did pretty well locally, but some of the members of the band had changed over and the sound had changed, and Straight Punch to the Crotch was always, it was sort of sticking its tongue out at music in general and just like music scene, and we actually played a lot of just beautiful music. Some people would come up to us after the shows and say, I never thought it would have sounded like that. They would have assumed it would have been
Must have
just
been the crotch.
Yeah.
That might have.
So the name of our first album was actually We Are Star Children.
Oh.
So we adopted the name of the original
Perfect.
album, and that sort of became and governed the energy of this new project. So Jeanette, Coogan, Mary, these are all artists who weren't in Straight Punch to the Crotch and actually became really sort of the base for We Are Star Children. And the team we have now is just like, it's rock solid, and
That's
hopefully it's not
fantastic.
going anywhere, because it's sort of evolved and it's come a long way. But I did actually start Straight Punch to the Crotch, and it was just one other female artist. It was just the two of us.
She was doing the punching.
She was. Yeah, she was.
So you just mentioned names. Why don't you tell us all the names of your band? I can't think
Sure.
right now.
Well,
Members of your
why
band.
don't we start with your fiance?
My sweetie.
They met in Straight Punch to the Crotch. Yeah, so, and it's not me. You want to introduce your fiance?
Well, he's the bass player. His name is Zach Snyder. And actually we met like 8 years ago
excuse me.
on a job site, but that's okay. But he actually got me to play. He
Sure.
He got me convinced to come to a rehearsal for Straight Punch to the Crotch because I was kind of wary myself as a
Yeah.
musician playing
Right.
with something of that title. But once I played with Gene, once I played some music and realized it's good songwriting, it's good music, that's what's important. I'm just going to stick
I
around.
could talk him
now.
out of the name.
In fact, I think,
Actually, he had to talk me out of the name.
I know, she really
did.
tried. I was the one who, and there was a point where I was like that one juror who thought it needed to happen. I had to talk everyone into it.
You were like, I'm going to quit if we don't change it.
I kind of threw it down. Yeah, I knew it
was
had to
good.
go.
It was good in the end.
Do you think that was a long play to get you to marry him? Do you think he actually met you 8 years ago, knew you played the trumpet, started playing bass with me? And
I think you might have to ask him that,
I think
actually.
we might have done
Oh, see, we'll have to have another show
Although
for this one.
that's a really
The
good
drama continues.
plan there. But
So-
We're running out of
yeah.
time, so tell us the rest of the names of
So
the band.
Tristan Puckett on drums, Mary Butcher, Jeanette Williams. are
Jeanette,
both-
who is here tonight.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
absolutely. On vocals, Coogan Brennan, who's a synth player, and that's the 7 of us. Am I forgetting anybody? I better not.
I
know.
And Gene Osborne,
Yeah, and
Allie
myself.
Buchanan.
And I'm looking at your CD. This is your latest, I take
Yeah.
it. Love to the Wicked. We're going to get a better shot of this, but I want to hold it up. And you wanted to mention this guy, right?
Yeah, so we a lot of what we do, we have a video, photography, and this artwork is all collaborations with our friends and other community members in Charlottesville. So Dan Zimmerman's a great friend of the band, and he actually created an art concept for us. Each song has its own drawing,
Oh,
and
excellent.
these albums are actually available at shows, and it's a relatively limited edition, and we actually at our CD release party had colored pencils everywhere, so
Great
we have
idea.
just tons of these all decorated, and it was amazing what people came up with. So the idea is to just kind of propagate the creativity.
So you guys tell us where our viewers can find you. A website?
Sure. Yeah, so
Facebook,
of
whatever?
course you can just do a web search for We Are Star Children. We actually sell our album through a website called Bandcamp. So if you go to wearestarchildren.bandcamp.com, you'll find us, and that's actually a great platform for artists to get their
Beautiful.
music out.
We'll have that appearing at the bottom of the screen magically.
Yeah, and you can find us in town. We have our artist does flyers for us, so we're all over. We walk everywhere, so you can come and find us on the street if you need to.
Excellent, excellent. Thank
Very
you
shy.
so much. I
Outrageous.
love you
Sure.
guys.
Thank you.
Thank
And,
you.
so much.
Great.
you know, if we ever get a venue where we can have all of you, we will get all of you. But keep us
Awesome.
in
That'd
the
be
loop
awesome.
about
Awesome.
Yeah.
your growth and your journey. Woo! All that music made me hungry, John.
You know what that means.
Good thing our food segment is next.
Yeah.
We have Brian Helleberg from Fleury. And we may have to start talking in a French accent from now on.
Give it a go, babe.
Stay tuned because we are going to eat. Thank you. We are Star Children.
Thank you, guys.
Stay tuned.
So much.
Appreciate it.